Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missi Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work. Do you ever feel like you're just running in place? Before you know it, the day is halfway over and you're just getting started. I have 100% been guilty of this. If I'm being honest, I'm still guilty of this. So this episode is very much what I need to hear and remember in this moment. And maybe it is for you too, especially with the new year coming up. I know you have all these big goals and hopes for next year. Maybe next year is the year we stop fucking around and really dig in and get some shit done. I've definitely had my moments, and I'm having my moments, where I feel like I'm going, and still somehow I'm getting nothing done. But I have learned some strategies that have made a huge difference for me when I'm actually implementing them. And when I do, I can see and feel myself making huge strides in the right direction. It makes all the difference when you're intentional about what you're working on and when. I don't think it's possible for anyone to be operating at peak performance all the time. So let me just start by saying this is all a process. Don't get discouraged if you find yourself off track and having a bad day. The fact that we are making moves at all to get better at this is actually what matters. So what can you do to make your day go more smoothly and be more productive? I have some strategies that have been really working for me, and I wanted to share them with you. Number one, get ready the day before. I like to think of it like the first day of school when you were a little kid. The night before, you're so excited and nervous about the big day. You put all your shiny new folders and pencils and notebooks in your backpack. You pick out the clothes you're going to wear, and when you wake up in the morning the next day, you're going to have a good day because you're ready. Nothing is going to trip you up. You got to the bus stop, probably even early, and you felt prepared. Now that we're adults, there aren't really a lot of days like that where we're excited or prepared, especially when it comes to work. That doesn't mean we can't use that same method we used when we were kids. So set yourself up for a great day by getting ready the night before. Before you go to sleep, make your to-do list. If you will be working from home or doing your drawings for appointments this week, set up your work area. Make sure you have all the supplies you need. When you sit down to work the next day, you'll have no obstacles in the way of getting started. Having even the most seemingly insignificant obstacle between you and your ability to start any task can trip you up. And I don't know about you, but for me, some days, it's enough to bring me to a full fucking stop. With every little obstacle in the way, your chances of quitting before you even get started are becoming greater and greater. One annoying, difficult thing after another is slowly wearing down your will to do the thing. If you've ever struggled with motivation going to the gym, you'll understand what I mean. The slightest inconvenience can derail your entire mission. Imagine you're trying to get into the routine of going to the gym again. You get up early. You're like, let's fucking go. I got to keep this momentum. I'm going to get my ass up. I'm going to the gym. But you can't find two socks that match. Okay, fuck it. I'll wear two socks that don't match. You go to make your pre-workout. I'm fucking out of pre-workout. Okay. All right. I'm still going to do this. I'm just going to have to do it tired and going to have to push a little bit harder to get through this. Where are my keys? Then you spend 10 minutes looking for your keys. Now you're running late. On your way to the gym, there's a detour. You're already late. Everything is wrong. Now you're highly irritated and wanting to just turn around and go home, but you keep pushing because, God damn it, I'm going to the gym. I got to keep this momentum. You finally get there and forgot my water. Okay, they have a water fountain. I guess I could use that, even though it's kind of gross. You put your headphones on and you're ready for fucking battle. And then you hear battery low and that familiar dying Pac-Man sound that indicates your headphones are fucking dead. That's it. That's the tipping point. You're going the fuck home. Now imagine if the night before you set yourself up for success, you found the matching socks, you realized you were out of pre-workout, so you ran to the store and got more. You put your keys by the door with your water bottle, you plugged in your headphones to charge them. That morning would have gone entirely different and the little detour would have been no big deal. The more friction you encounter, the more reasons you'll give yourself to change your mind, do something else instead, or just to quit entirely. If you even set yourself up the night before, when you sit down the next day, it's go time. Zero friction, zero obstacles, just a clear path to checking things off your to-do list. And let me be clear about the phrase to-do list, because that could mean anything. When I say checking things off your to-do list, I mean your top priorities list. My tip number 2 for getting more done is focus on projects or tasks that are truly important and are helping you move towards your goals. If you're like me, your to-do list is never ending and it's easy to get caught up focusing on the wrong things. Have you ever gotten to the end of your day and wondered, what the hell did I do all day? I've been working my ass off and I feel like I did nothing at all. I've been guilty of this so many times. I'm still guilty of doing this. I'll look at my list and see that big, scary, difficult, daunting task staring me down. I avert my eyes and find that really simple, easy task and tell myself, I'll just knock this one out first, which puts me on this path of total avoidance. I spend my entire day doing these little, unimportant, insignificant tasks and avoiding the big ones that are actually important. Before I know it, the day is over. I haven't done anything to get me closer to my actual goals. The reason for this is I haven't consciously acknowledged which tasks on my list are most meaningful, most important, and are moving me in the right direction. A lot of times I'm just doing busy work, which is exactly that. Work that keeps me busy, not productive. So how do you fix this? First of all, get clear on what your goals are, your overall why. What's your mission, your purpose? What do you want? What are you working towards? It's a big question that requires a lot of thought. I have an episode on how to break that down coming up really soon, so keep an eye out for that. But once you know your why, you can start deciding what your big goals are for the year. Where do you want to be in 6 months, in 90 days, at the end of this month? And then finally, each week. Now you can see this very clear, very close goalpost and decide what you're going to do today to get there. If you haven't done this already, I'm not even sure how you have a to-do list in the first place, but let's start there. What are you trying to accomplish today? You should have at least 3 to 5 main objectives. For example, maybe your goal for the week is to book 5 new appointments, which is too vague of a goal. What exactly does that mean, and how are you going to do that, and when are you going to do that? Let's say drawing some wannadies to post up for grabs, creating a new video to use for TikToks and Reels, and following up with appointment requests. Those are your top priorities this week. But that's not specific enough to move the needle, so let's refine those goals for each day. It should sound something like this. Number 1, draw 3 wannadoos. Number 2, edit a video with your most recent tattoos. Number 3, follow up with 3 potential clients who inquired. Now you know what your most important tasks of the day are. You have a blueprint to follow. You can now go through the rest of your to-do list and prioritize the rest. Ask yourself, is this task helping me get to my weekly goals? And if not, it's not a priority. Work on your top priority items first and get them out of the way. Then, if you still have time left in your day, give yourself permission to work on the other lower priority things. If your top priority items cannot be finished in one day, work on it for a designated amount of time. Maybe you devote the first 2 hours of your day to working on that super big, difficult task, and then move on to the rest of your list. Tomorrow, you come back and you work on it for 2 more hours. Sometimes I'll see a huge task that's so overwhelming to me, I know I can't possibly do it all in one day. So I tell myself I have to do the smaller, easier task instead and save that one for another day. But another day never comes. So chip away at it day by day. That way you aren't just constantly pushing it off and neglecting it day after day after day and never getting started. By focusing on those things that are most important, you can ensure that you're using time most efficiently and are not moving in the wrong direction or just spinning tires going nowhere at all. And honestly, it makes me so angry when someone tells me I need to go take some me time and just relax or go skating or snowboarding and just have fun because they don't fucking get it. Yeah, sounds great. I'd love to do any of those things if my mind wasn't in a state of complete overwhelm. Let's say I did take the time to go skating. If I haven't fixed the problem with my work, I'll never even be able to enjoy the experience. I'll be thinking about work, and it's probably going to make me feel even worse because now I'm thinking about all the shit I have to do. And now I'm wasting time roller skating, time that I could have used to work towards getting this stuff done. Now I feel even more behind and everything feels worse. I can't just enjoy the things that I used to enjoy if I'm not feeling in control of everything else. When you get to this point, you realize that people have stopped reaching out to you. You have forgotten to respond and left them on red enough times that they've just given up. They stop inviting you because you never say yes. You never make time. Nobody likes to be rejected, and they're only going to hear no so many times before they give up. And if you do go and then only talk about work the entire time, or how long your to-do list is and all the things you have to get done when you get home, all they're hearing is, I'm too busy for you. They will stop reaching out to make plans with you, not because they don't want to hear it, but because they care about you. They don't want to add to your stress and they don't want to bother you. So they just stop trying to make plans with you. What is your quality of life right now? Are you happy? Really happy? Do you even remember what happiness feels like or what it looks like to you? If you think back to times in your life when you were the happiest, can you find a pattern? I think we sometimes tend to romanticize our memories, but there is probably a point in your life that you look back on and think, man, I was having the time of my life. That was such a great year. I wish I could go back to that. You're probably picturing that time now. What did it look like? How were you spending that time and who were you spending it with? What was different back then and what's changed? One of the happiest times in my life, and I know this is going to sound so fucked up, but it's absolutely true, was during COVID. The 3 months that I was shut down, I was living my best life. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that were having a really rough time and it was the worst time of their life. And I am not trying to take away from that in any way. But for me, it was the time away from work that I needed and I wasn't able to give myself. And I was never going to give myself. I woke up in the mornings and I worked out in my basement and then I go for a run down my road. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen my road. It's really pretty. There's horses and cows and donkeys and sheep and my little pig friends. I would run about a mile or two at sunrise. When I came home, I would fuck around in my vegetable garden. Yes, I was one of those. I had a COVID garden and it very quickly got out of control. But I would fuck around in my garden and then I would eat breakfast with my kids and I would get them ready for their virtual classes and then I would sit down and paint all day. I painted the little pet portraits while I watched or listened to TV shows and movies. I remember binging the fuck out of Outlander then. And so I was basically living in Scotland from the hours of 9 to 4 with my friends Jamie and Claire Fraser. Don't judge me. I was having the time of my life. I was Scottish, okay? Then I would make dinner and eat with my family and do family things or work on my house. And I think I decorated and redecorated a million times in those 3 months. I created art for me for fun and my life was so different. I think the biggest part of it was that I had time with my family. I had time to take care of my body and my mind. And I know that is the direction I need to head and where I'm striving to return. I remember the first couple of weeks though, my entire body was like rebelling against this because I was stuck in work mode for so long that it was really hard for me to shift gears and be in this like homebody family mode. I just kept thinking about all of the things that I had to do at work and I was having a really hard time transitioning to that and adjusting to it. But when I finally got there, I was really happy. Now, none of that is exactly my version of the perfect day, but it's pretty damn close. I'd have to add roller skating past the beach on my way to work in there somewhere, but now it's your turn. What would it take for you to get back to your best life? What does that perfect day look like? What needs to change in your work life to make that happen? And what do you need to change in your personal life to make it happen? I just want you to think about that for a minute because this is important and probably something that you don't often think about or check in with yourself on. Who or what are you neglecting? Is your work causing you to neglect your significant other? Have you been putting off date nights because you're too busy? Or if you're single, have you been avoiding dating at all until things calm down again? I feel like I've been saying that my whole life. I remember seeing a meme recently that said something like, being a business owner is saying, but after this week, things will calm down a little bit over and over again until you die. And I just had to laugh at myself because goddamn if that isn't me. I am always putting things off until next week or next month, and we all know it's not coming, especially if we aren't actively working towards the things that's going to calm things down. Are you saying this to your kids too? Or if you don't have kids, maybe you have nieces or nephews, what important moments are you missing with them? Do you wish you had a better relationship with them or that you knew more about them? When was the last time you sat down and played a video game or a board game with them? Or just listened to them go on and on about their middle school drama? When was the last time you took a family vacation? Have you ever? Do you ever just take them for ice cream for no reason, just to hang out? What about your parents or your siblings? Do you talk to them or see them regularly? I know for me, talking to my family is a very mentally taxing event. If I don't have the spare mental energy to spend on this, I'm not even going to try. And I know that this is not the answer. If your parents and siblings are important to you and spending time with them is important to you, you have to really ask yourself if you're prioritizing work over them. If you aren't making time to see them regularly, checking in with them and talking to them, not about work, then we need to figure out what has to change to make that happen. And the same goes for your pets. Maybe even more so, in my opinion, because they have very little control over their quality of life. Do you have time to play with them, take them for walks, and give them the life that they deserve? Lastly, are you neglecting yourself? Are you really taking care of yourself and doing things that feed your soul? Do you get your hair and nails done or get regular massages? Tattoo artists out there, listen, please take care of your backs. Don't be like me. 20 years of tattooing, 8 to 9 hour days in the most fucked up positions, not drinking water, not stretching, not working out, not getting massage is not the way. My back is so fucked now. And that's all I'm going to say. But just going to leave it at that. But seriously, when was the last time you went to the doctor for a checkup? Are you prioritizing yourself and your health? If you aren't taking care of yourself, how long do you think you can actually keep this up? Okay, now ask yourself, where do I need to be spending more time? Is it at home or at work? Is it traveling? Is it in another state? I don't know, maybe your family and friends are there and where you are isn't working. There's no wrong answer here. It's just an assessment. And I just want you to get really self-aware so that you can decide what the issues are and if you need help. Once you figure out if you need help, we can then figure out where you need help. So let's say you do decide that you need help. When you do find that person, it's going to be such a sigh of relief. Like you're finally getting the help that you need. You're finally getting the free time. And you honestly won't even know what to do with it at first. It's so crazy. So when I hired my assistant, I'm going to tell this story because it's somewhat embarrassing, but I think it's necessary just so you can understand. I was drowning. I was in so much need of help. And I finally found my assistant, Valerie. She's incredible. Such a great help. I hired her. She started on Monday. I gave her a whole bunch of stuff to work on to just like kind of get me out of the weeds. And that Friday, I ended up in the hospital. And that's not because of Valerie in any way, but kind of. So I gave her all of these things that were just weighing on me and I could not get to. I'm working full-time tattooing. I'm trying to run the business. I'm trying to do all these things. And there just wasn't enough of me to go around. And then all of a sudden I had somebody that could take 30 hours of work off of my plate a week, which is like most of the stuff that I was doing, the extra stuff I was doing. And I found myself, turn around and I'm like, I don't have anything to do. What do I do with my time now? I have nothing. Like, I guess I relax now? Like, what? How do I even do that? It's been so long. I don't know how to relax. So I attempted to relax and I started feeling sick and I thought I had the flu and I was like slowly feeling worse and worse. And then I started getting to this point where, I couldn't get out of bed. And this lasted through the weekend. And the reason I ended up in the hospital, so, let me rewind a couple of years ago, I had been really sick and I had COVID. And then afterwards, I started feeling better and ended up passing out. I stopped breathing and my husband had to do CPR. They took me to the hospital and an ambulance, and they couldn't really find anything wrong with me. I think that I was severely dehydrated, and I think that and I already have really low blood pressure just naturally, like very, like almost concerningly low. And then, when I'm dehydrated like that, it's very easy for me to get lightheaded and pass out. So I think that was what was going on, but they never really did say anything. So that happened a couple of years ago. So then when I started feeling sick this time, I was really like, I kept feeling like I was going to pass out again. And it kept happening and it wouldn't go away. And so I finally end up going to the hospital for it. Again, they couldn't figure anything out. So I go home and I kept feeling like that. I go back to the hospital. They still couldn't figure it out. And what I realized by Sunday is that I wasn't sick. I wasn't about to pass out. I was having a panic attack for 3 days straight, having a panic attack because I didn't know how to relax. And I can laugh about it now because it's been long enough and it just seems so silly to me and it's like super embarrassing. But I never had a panic attack before. So I didn't know what was happening. And I think in my mind, like my body started like wearing down because it was like almost like juggling all of these things. And I'm trying to keep everything going. I'm busy. And then someone's like, here, let me take that from you. And then my body was like, I don't know what to do now. I have nothing to do. And let me fall apart, So I just literally fell apart, and it's because I had nothing to do. But, and I'm not saying that like, oh, this is a bad thing that happened because like she took all the stuff from me and then I fell apart. My point is that I didn't know how much I was suffering. I didn't know how much I was drowning until somebody helped me and I could like stop for a minute and all of a sudden I could feel my body and I could feel its effects on me over, however long I'd been just functioning that way. All of a sudden I could see all the damage that was being done. So that was a really huge wake up call for me. And I was able to, Sunday, by the time I realized what was going on, I was like, oh my God, that's so bad. This is so bad. I was living like this. And now that I have her taking this off of me, I can fucking breathe. And so I've had to like retrain myself to relax. And I'm going to be so honest with you. I still don't know how to do it. I still have a really hard time with it, but I'm learning still. And it's a good thing, and because it's not sustainable to live like that. And I've said it a million times. And, I'm really just saying it to myself. Like, if you guys listen and get something from it too, cool. But really, I'm just trying to convince myself it's okay to relax. It's been great having her because I really was just like doing so much damage and not even acknowledging it or realizing it. So you're going to feel this sigh of relief. Hopefully yours will be less dramatic and traumatic, but they'll help you in ways you didn't even anticipate. So she's so good at seeing that I need help with something and just doing it and understanding that I need help and offering to help me with it. And once you find this person, you might start to feel regret. Like, why the fuck did I wait so long to hire somebody? And why do I have such a hard time asking for help? All the things that could have been done sooner, or things that they could have helped you with sooner, or projects that you wanted to get done, but just didn't have the bandwidth to do them. And if you would have just hired somebody to help you, they could have been done by now. And you're really going to start to feel hopeful and see that the future is a little bit brighter, and projects that you've been dreaming of are going to start to become a possible reality for you. And you're going to start to get your life and your time back. And that's more important than anything and more valuable than anything. But don't give up too soon. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today.
Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.